Good morning. Thank you for joining us at the Hastings State of the City Address. My name is Christy Bars, and I'm president of the Hastings Chamber of Commerce, and we are proud to partner with the City of Hastings on this wonderful event. I'm pleased to announce our guest speaker, Mayor Paul Hicks, who was born and raised in Hastings. He is a graduate of Hastings High School and graduated from the Hamline University in 1982 with a BA in political science. He's been actively involved in the city as a member of the Hastings JC, Urban Concerns, SOAR, Hastings Alumni Association, and the Hastings Access Television Corporation. He's employed by the Minnesota House of Representatives, where he works as a supervisor in the office of the clerk chief, and he headed up the move over to the Capitol this year, which was a big deal. Mayor Hicks has served as chairman of the Parks and Recs Commission for 6 years, prior to being elected as an at-large member of the Hastings City Council in 1990. He was reelected in 94, 98, and 2002. He was elected mayor of Hastings in 2006 and reelected in 2010 and 2014. So he's been our mayor for the past 11 years. Please welcome Mayor Paul Hicks to the stage.
Well, thank you. It's certainly a pleasure to be with you this morning. Let me thank Christy and all the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event with us at the City of Hastings this morning. It's really a great event. I look forward to doing it every year. I don't know how many of these I've done in a row, but it's a lot and it's fun. And I always look forward to doing this every year. I also would like to thank our award-winning KDWA Radio. I see Nick is over there for providing the State of the City address on its airwaves this morning, and for the Hastings Community Television, Channel 14, which I think this will probably be on Channel 16. Just tell you how many channels we've got. That's good. Thank them for providing a live feed this morning, and also our Hastings Star-Gazette for its coverage, not only today but throughout the year. So appreciate that. First of all, I'd like to recognize distinguished guests that we have among us today, and Tony Juergens. Please stand. Tony, he's our new state representative. We've been able to work together on a few projects early this year and a few more to come. Tony, thank you for being here today. We appreciate you being here. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of our city continues to be strong. And as I begin today's report on the city, I want to take a moment to recognize my elected officials on your city council. Today we have a number of them here, and I'd like them to stand when I call them out. We have Ward 1, Tina Foltz. Tina, where are you? There's Tina. Ward 2, Joe Balsanic. Ward 3, Lisa Liefeld. Ward 4, I don't know if Trevor Lund is here. He may not be. Oh, there's Trevor. Thank you, Trevor. There he is, I bet. I see ya. And then we have Lori Brox and Mark Vaughn, our at-large council members. Thank you for being here this morning. This city council and its new faces will bring new ideas, exciting approaches, and renewed enthusiasm as we engage ourselves in the business of providing our citizens continued opportunities and reliable services. This council is the youngest council I have served with in my years of working on the city council in terms of their experience. So it will be a challenge to get to know each other and each of our priorities. But make no mistake, we will be successful. Because after my meetings with each of them, they have demonstrated a great gift. And that is that their commitment and dedication to the people of our city. Each council member has a talent and an ability to bring unique perspectives to an ever-growing complexity of governance. This March, we have planned a local retreat to get to know and better understand each other's goals and determine how to continue to discover ways to build consensus and accomplishments. I am looking forward to that process. James Baldwin once said, "Not everything that can be faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." That will be our challenge on the City Council, to continue to engage our citizenry as well as each other and explore how we can make Hastings a better place to live, to work, and to play. Effective public service requires us to think of others rather than ourselves. And as we work together to provide a better quality of life for our residents, and more than any other level of government, local government makes a difference. All of us, the City Council and our employees at the City of Hastings, answer the call to remember that what we do together impacts lives. Therefore, on behalf of our community, I want to thank the great work and dedication of our most treasured resource, our city employees. Folks, they're good. They're really good. Our employees bring exceptional professionalism. They demonstrate competent technical skills, and most importantly, possess a can-do spirit that makes all of us proud of their work. So the next time you are in your car driving on that new city road, knowing that the snow has been pushed out of the way and plowed, or you go to the faucet, get another drink of clean, safe glass of water, think of our public works staff who work hard to bring that to you. The next time that you see our police and fire personnel on the job protecting our citizens from harm, think about the dedication and training those officers and firefighters endure to keep you safe. The next time you take your child to a ball field, a hockey rink, or a park, or you're walking along one of our beautiful trails, or swimming the aquatic center or the civic arena, over there skating, attending a concert at the riverfront, please think about our park and rec personnel who work tirelessly to bring you those recreational opportunities. Next time you go to the election polls, or obtaining a building permit, or even a lifetime dog license, or using our city website, or if you have a general question about our city, remember the solid work of your City Hall administration, who brings you those services and more. Our City Council and staff are committed more than ever to our residents, remembering that we can and we do impact the lives of our citizens. In that spirit, I would like to briefly review our accomplishments in 2016 and our goals for a productive year in 2017. About a year and a half ago, I got to meet with Anthony Fox, who was the former Secretary of Transportation under the last administration. And he said something that's very profound. He said, the reality about transportation is that it's future-oriented. If we're planning for what we have, we're behind the curve. In 2014, I had preliminary discussions with DARTS to find ways to expand our transportation options in our city. From that effort in 2016, DARTS, who partnered with our community stakeholders, along with city staff and council members, worked to create the Hastings Loop Bus, a circular bus system that operates on Tuesdays to bring seniors and veterans and anybody else who'd like to ride a low-cost transportation option that brings riders to various shopping areas in our city, medical facilities, banking, governmental services, and the senior center. This first step in expanding our transportation options beyond our transit link system is indicative in our belief that transportation is an important facet in making a community more livable. An ever-important goal as we see our city and general population getting older. But I'm not included in that. I don't get older, right? In 2017, we will continue to be engaged in transit options as we explore with the Met Council the expansion of an express bus to the Twin Cities. Over 60% of our residents travel outside of Hastings to work. And if any of you look at the new bridge traffic or the traffic on Highway 55 in the morning and evening commutes, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Therefore, as the timetable of the Red Rock Corridor BRT is expanded to 2040, we need to take the initiative on our own to provide transit options to the cities. Not only is this important to our Hastings commuters, but also to our Hastings business community, who want or need to fill jobs that an expanded pool of potential employees can bring. The City of Hastings is also looking forward to having continued discussions with Dakota County in connection with the East-West Connectivity Study. At the present time, much work needs to be done to better include Hastings. We want to be a valuable partner. We want to be more engaged to get people on this side of the county and connecting many Dakota County residents to their county seat. Our local road infrastructure improvements continues to be a high priority. We had a very successful 2016 program in upgrading Bailey Street and the associated trail. In 2017, our road improvement program will take us to the 2nd Ward to improve much of 6th Street from Spring Street to Maple Street and much of Ashland Street from 6th Street to Highway 55. In 2016, we completed 95% of our 10-mile trail loop around our city, a trail system that all of us in this room can be proud of. And we are recognized as having one of the most scenic trail systems in the entire metropolitan area. In 2017, the 10-mile trail loop will be completed, as well as a new bridge trail going north to Washington County to take us to Prescott, Wisconsin, along the old peanut line. I and other city officials in our legislative delegation were instrumental at the legislature in getting $1.6 million for this effort, and it will become a reality this summer. We will continue to advance discussions with our legislative delegation and others to explore expanding our trail from Hastings to Red Wing as part of the Mississippi River Trail System that would bring great recreational value to Minnesotans and a great economic opportunity for the city of Hastings. In last year's State of City address, you may recall that one of the major themes I discussed was the importance of our economic development and redevelopment efforts. In 2016, we took tremendous strides in the realization of this ever-increasing priority. When I think about economic development and redevelopment in Hastings, I think about our small businesses, the small businesses in our town, who are in the aggregate, employ most of our workers and greatly contribute to the quality of our life here in Hastings. I think of Robert Spector, who wrote a book about economic development, and what he said about the unsung heroes of the American economy, that of small businesses. And he said, mom and pop stores are not about something small. They're about something big. 90% of all U.S. businesses are family-owned or controlled. They are important not only for the food, drink, clothing, tools, insurance, services that they sell us, but also for the connection to our communities, the intellectual stimulation, and the social interaction. We must have mom and pop stores because we are social animals, and we crave to be part of the marketplace. In 2016, the final touches of the beautiful downtown Riverfront Renaissance project, which is now essentially complete. This project was and is about supporting our small businesses by providing the necessary upgrades and infrastructure so that they can continue to compete and be successful. This project also reaffirmed the city's recognition that the mighty Mississippi River and historic downtown is a community asset and destination. But we can't stop there. Last year, I called for another important and a much more difficult endeavor, an exercise that will require the same enthusiasm, dedication, and sacrifice to accomplish. In 2017, we have budgeted and are ready to begin to examine how we can improve our Vermilion Street corridor by developing a master plan. This plan, from the bridge to the far ends of our southern border, this vital economic corridor is important along the Vermilion Street area. It should be important to every one of our citizens. It is important to a large number of our small businesses, and we have had preliminary discussions with our friends at the Chamber. We will together identify and bring in key stakeholders in the Vermilion corridor, and along with MnDOT, look to the future of this important economic gateway that supports 35,000 vehicles a day. This effort of the Vermilion Street Corridor Master Plan will examine the aesthetics and functionality of the corridor. But our main focus will be how current businesses and future businesses can best be supported through infrastructure changes and development practices that will aid to economic success and vitality. We all want a Vermilion Street, from one end to the other, to be exciting, to be vibrant, and economically successful. And unlike the riverfront renaissance, this effort will be much more complex, but will also have greater reward. Unlike the riverfront renaissance timetable of 3 years, the timetable for the completion of this particular project will be long-term. We know that this will be a longer-term investment to improve the corridor. There can be and will be short-term and long-term improvements to be made, and for the sake of our small businesses, now is the time to begin. Let 2017 be known as the year that change began on the Vermilion Street corridor. With our newly created Economic Development Coordinator position created in 2016, whose job will be to actively pursue economic growth opportunities, and I think that's Morgan. Morgan, are you here? Is Morgan here this morning? Okay, well, that was important. That's good. But I want to come, she's going to be working as our Economic Development Coordinator. She's already started a great relationship with the Chamber. It's people like that at the city and others, with the commitment with our friends with the Chamber, our Chamber partners, our enthusiasm of our HEDRA commissioners and the City Council members. Many initiatives are already underway to improve our economic development capabilities in 2017. They include evaluating broadband options, identifying geographic redevelopment priorities, develop a property acquisition philosophy, evaluate potential new city, HEDRA financing programs. The Economic Development Marketing Plan is nearly complete. And the upcoming Chamber's Hastings Tourism Community Meeting on February 25th, and I'm going to be there, is another example of our community's desire to do more to expand economic growth. All of these initiatives are designed to support businesses, especially our small businesses. I can report to all of you that our economic development, redevelopment projects continue to move forward. The Art Space project continues to make progress in its construction. The old Hudson building will be turned over to the Great Rivers Landing Group later this spring. And let me say that one more time, right, Greg? The old Hudson building will be turned over to the Great Rivers Landing Group this spring. Ben Franklin once said, "Beware of the little expenses. A small leak can sink a great ship." One of our most important core values of your city government is respect for resources. And we take great pride in recognizing the value of our taxpayers' hard-earned dollars and using all city resources in an efficient and an effective manner, and to use these resources to serve the common good. An example of this commitment has been the 2016 designation of Hastings as a Step 2 city in the Green Steps program, recognizing our pledge to efficiency in energy use, policies, and financial resources. Our goal is to reach the final Step 4 within the next year or two. The Hastings tax base is primarily residential, as many of you know. 66% of our properties are defined as such. The tax capacity of our community decreased in 2011 to 2014 and then recovered the past 3 years from a low point of $15,300,000 to today about $18,300,000. However, it is important to note that the tax capacity of $18 million is still less than the historical high of tax capacity in dollars in 2008, which was about $21 million. With the increase of tax capacity the last 3 years, the city has been able to reduce our tax rate from a high of 68.55% in 2013 to today's rate of 2017 of 62.44%. Despite the hard reality of inconsistent tax capacity we've seen in recent years. Our city continues to enjoy a AA bond rating from Standard & Poor's, indicating our strong and stable financial position. Our city has in place established policies relating to key financial, economic, and debt ratios to those formulas to ensure that we do not bite off more than we can chew, that our house is in order, and that the debt that we issue is not beyond what we can afford. And we continue to practice sound financial policies that help to protect our financial assets and safeguard against fraud. It is no accident that our finance department has been awarded a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting every year since 1996. Another financial success that we cannot ignore is our city staff's ability to obtain millions of dollars for city projects that serves a great catalyst in getting our community's goals accomplished. In the last several years, we have garnered over $5 million in grant funding. Whether that be our community development department capturing additional dollars for environmental and site improvement enhancements at the Hudson site or the riverfront, or our fire and police department acquiring outside grants for training and equipment upgrades, or our public works attaining dollars for working with our partners to achieve successful construction outcomes. It is a testament to our belief in stretching limited dollars to benefit our residents. With the sustained values, respecting our limited monetary resources being instilled to every city employee and council member, we cannot and we will not fail our taxpayers. To be sure, there will be persistent challenges ahead. But as Hastings residents, all of us can take great pride in the progress we have made in the last several years in making our community a great place to live, work, and play. This is not the sole responsibility of city government, though we play a role, but the responsibility of every citizen to be engaged in civic matters, that every citizen be thoughtful and helpful to their neighbors, to take time to volunteer for the common good, and to care about our kids, our veterans, our seniors, our immigrant communities, and those less fortunate than ourselves. I am so optimistic and excited about the future of our great city. We have revealed through our businesses, our nonprofit, and other compassionate organizations, including our churches, that we in Hastings know how to respond to those in need. We are a charitable and giving community, and I feel, as many as you feel, how fortunate we are to live in this great place on this side of the mighty Mississippi River. It has been said, there are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Our community has worked hard to create better opportunities to advance our quality of life. So I ask you, take a moment, stop and explore around us, to see an ever-expanding arts community building windows to reveal our soul, to see our beautiful community spaces that inspire us to create memories for a lifetime or simply a time to reflect, to see a school system that advances learning alongside dignity and respect, to see our rich history to remind us that we come from a proud past, building toward a bright future. And finally, to see and understand that any progress that we can attain together starts from within. Thank you, and I appreciate all of you being here this morning. Thank you very much. Now we get to go to the rolls, so that's good. Thank you.